asking ourselves about the role of President Zuma in the life of the ANC in South Africa. And we are seeing negatives rather than the positives. Under President Tambo, the ANC received, international recognition and an international mobilization against colonialism and apartheid in South Africa, hence the sanctions under President Tambo. President Mandela is recognized by all presidents everywhere, everyone. They say he's the second popular individual after Jesus Christ because of the human rights he was fighting for. Under President Mbeki, we've built AU and NEPAD as part of the contribution in the continent. Under his presidency and the leadership, we've built the African peer review mechanism to peer review ourselves in terms of our development in the continent. Under him, we've built democratic institutions. What have we built under President Zuma? And this is the question we're saying. People of South Africa, young people in particular, must begin to ponder. What have we built? Instead, we have seen destruction of democratic institutions, including SARS, under his leadership. Now, he is trying to steal from the ANC its own heritage. Under President Ramaphosa, we have stood against the tyranny of imperialism. Israel and America, by the way. We've seen the consolidation of the BRICS bloc. Bringing in other important players in the geopolitical space, who are playing a very significant role in the BRICS bloc. We've seen the renewal of the ANC and the democratic institutions under President Ramaphosa. We've not seen any. We want to see what have we built under President Zuma.
Good day, everyone, and welcome to another political talk. Welcome to Newsology, and I implore you to please join me as we'll be having this great discussion. So I was scrolling down the internet, and there's something very interesting I saw on the X platform when our government did give thanks to those who went and attended the Namibia trip, right, for the inauguration of their new elected president. So our South African government gave this post and Thanksgiving. His Excellency President Cyril Ramaphosa, joined by former President Thabo Mbeki and former Deputy President Phumzile Mlambo-Ngcuka, congratulate her, Excellency President Netembo Nandi-Ndaitwah, as the 5th President of the Republic of Namibia during the inauguration ceremony held at the State House in Windhoek, Republic of Namibia. So, as this post was saying these things and I was reading this, I picked something to say that there's something missing here. How is it that former President Thabo Mbeki is recognized, but Jacob Zuma is not there? Former Deputy President Phumzile Mlambo-Ngcuka, she's been recognized, but Jacob Zuma is not there. Cyril Matamela, President Ramaphosa, has been recognized, but the former president, Jacob Zuma, is not there. And then I said, what is happening with our government? Why our government are so anti-Zuma? Or why are they so pretty much hating on Jacob Zuma? Then I saw something which was written on another post, which was written by Truly, which he tagged evaluator, who wrote a government website that removed the projects which were done under President Zuma. Too late. I long saved it. So this is very interesting. So is the government now official page now the page of the ANC as the ruling party, or do they two share maybe the same post? What the ANC approves also in the government gazette will be posted and approved. Because now seems like our entire squad government is fighting JZ. By the look of things, they are fighting JZ and they are removing JZ bit by bit from history. They are removing him completely. This shows how they hate him. They are removing him from government official activities. right? Because we know Jacob Zuma has been a president, but they no longer recognize him as a former president, in which you'll ask yourself, what did Msholozi ever do? What were the crimes done by Msholozi against the ANC? The ANC, after Jacob Zuma exited office, they always went after him to persecute him, to an extent that they used the Zondo Commission to arrest him. They used the Zondo Commission as their propaganda to arrest him, because the people who were exposed there in that commission, you can go back and check, it was not even Zuma's name mentioned there, or the Guptas. The people who were mentioned there were Busasa, were Mantashe, Cyril Ramaphosa, and other guys of the ANC were mentioned there. So I don't know why our government hate JZ. You know, there was a video, I once played the video, that our government hate Jacob Zuma to an extent that there was a time that they were no longer giving him his presidential old ex-president. You see that leverage, that pension that they will give to former president, they stopped giving him. Let us hear what Zuma said about that here. There were reports about your issues about your security, your cars, people saying the state, it seems like it's not taking good care of you. How do you feel? Do you think that the state does take care of you? Do they conduct maintenance?
No, if there are issues in that level, I talk to them.
Yeah.
We talk to them, there's no doubt. Anyone, it's not only me.
Yeah.
Even other former presidents, at times they've got problems, they talk to them. I talk to them.
Do they conduct maintenance at your home?
Now, I was in there. No,
because people are saying that they don't take care of you.
No, they don't.
They don't take care of you.
They don't.
Oh, okay.
They stopped, they just stopped. Even things they were building from government, they left other things unfinished.
Have you raised that issue?
But I don't want to such petty issues.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm about the country, not about my house.
Yeah. So as they stop giving it to Jacob Zuma, so Jacob Zuma now had some challenges financially, because it seems like we never heard Thabo Mbeki complaining about that the ANC is no longer giving him his pension fund of as a former president, right? Because you know that there's a lot of money or salaries that they get because they were presidents. There's a package that they get. So now the government or the ANC decided to cut that for him and not to give him anything else. I mean, the feud between President Ramaphosa and Jacob Zuma, maybe it's worse, but maybe it is better to some extent. Have you seen the war between Thabo Mbeki and President Ramaphosa? You haven't seen nothing else. They've came and attacked each other publicly. And if you think Jacob Zuma, by calling Cyril Ramaphosa corrupt because of Pala, you haven't heard anything from former President Thabo Mbeki on what he said about Cyril Ramaphosa. If you never heard, listen to this video here.
Ramaphosa, when he delivered the State of the Nation address in February, that's why he said, in 100 days there must be agreed a comprehensive social compact to address these matters. Nothing has happened. Nothing. Yeah. What are the problems that are facing the ANC? The habit of telling lies. Would be people who would want to exploit the condition of our people and behave as Umgodoi behaves. But it would be very, very important that we should be vigilant so that we don't have Imigodoi taking charge of our lives. I don't think the ANC understands that reality. It is true that you have got many greedy people, many corrupt people. If I ask the question, why is the ANC, which marginalized people, as we were saying, why is it behaving like this? I say to the ANC comrades that when you say I must go campaigning next year, to say to people, vote ANC. How am I going to do that? To say, vote ANC. When I know very well that the branch of the ANC in this constituency is led by a criminal. You can't. It's not possible to go and say vote ANC for a criminal.
I don't want to say anything, but I've picked two things about what former President Thabo Mbeki is lamenting about when it comes to President Cyril Ramaphosa's presidency. Okay, let's start here. Former President Thabo Mbeki called out the ANC in the ANC meeting conference to say that, why do you want to re-elect President Cyril Ramaphosa to do the second term? He said, why? And he questioned them and he asked them to say that this person, the first 100 days in the office, he never even fulfilled even one of his promises. And he declared him as incompetent and a liar. And he never stopped there. He said that he is corrupt, telling them in their face. Not that he was somewhere, maybe in another meeting. He was with the ANC members, telling them directly so in their face to say that your president is corrupt, do not re-elect him. As if that was enough. He went to an extent of saying, why do you allow the dogs to lead the organization? Yeah? Why do you allow the dogs, the corrupt people who don't care about the country, who don't care about the people in this country, why you re-elect them? Right? And we know that President Cyril Ramaphosa responded, and there were war. There were arguments between the two. Let us watch here.
At the January 8th rally in Limpopo, somebody stands up in a meeting and says, long live second term for Cyril Ramaphosa. What is that? And the valleys, the mountains and the glades, the rivers, the deserts, the trees, the flowers, the seas, and the ever-changing seasons that define the face of our native land.
A few moments later.
We are not a nation defined by the oceans and the rivers that form the boundaries of our land. We are not defined by the minerals under our earth or the spectacular landscape above it. We are not even defined by the languages.
And when Ramaphosa responded, you'll understand that when Mbeki was addressing them, calling out the incompetency of President Cyril Ramaphosa, Ramaphosa was so angry. You could even tell Mbalega Mbete, she was seated right next to him. She was even uneasy about the comments, the rebukes, the attacks that were directed to President Ramaphosa. And Ramaphosa could not even hold himself because of anger. Even his manner of sitting, he was there's something burning inside of him, and he was not happy. You will tell that his countenance has fallen, and he was very angry. All the attacks that the former President Thabo Mbeki has done, you still pay him his package quite well, and when they make trips to represent South Africa, you do acknowledge him. You don't have a problem with him. While he has been vocal in calling out your president as corrupt and incompetent. The only thing that JZ said was calling out President Ramaphosa about the Phala issue, to say that he's corrupt, he keeps dollars under the mattress. You remember
what the president has done, which is known by everybody. I'm not talking about something that is not known. People generally that I meet, they say things have gone bad in this country. And people say there is no money. People are saying even the jobs that were there is a problem in the country. I can't be an author of that. This is what is being said. You know it as well. We are just asking me because you want me to answer, to say something. Not at all. This is being said by many people, that this president has failed. It's not me. And I was only talking about specific things that he has done, that to me are not presidential. They're not allowed by the law, by the constitution. Those are the issues I was dealing with. It is the ANC conference that is going to deal with him, whether they want him or not. It's not my problem. But if I'm there as a delegate, it will be my problem, of course. I will have my views.
I hear you, but what I think, former president, maybe I'm not articulating my question.
Yeah.
Ngokubona kwakho uRamaphosa njengese office ngokuba wenza lento ayithunyiweyo la ANC.
No. Lalela baba. Let us just take one issue. Here is a scandal found in his home. There is money, dollars. He accepts this is his money. It's never done. It's a wrong thing. He's doing as a president of the ANC. You can start from Madiba. Nobody kept billions of monies, or millions, not billions, millions of money. This is a wrong thing. He says one time where I say I wrote a letter to respond to him, ANC's #1 corrupt organization, wrong. I said so. I responded to him. Even if people say there is corruption in the ANC, it's not everybody in the ANC. They are very poor and honest Christians, whatever, who have stolen not even a stick of matches. Now, if you just put everything, it's wrong. I've said so. These are the things I've said. And you must be satisfied that I said them. And I said them because they were happening.
So taking that and what the former president, Mbeki, has said, but you still endorse this one, you still promote this one, you still acknowledge this one, but you are degrading this one. Why? Because you say Zuma's against the ANC. It was former President Mbeki who did declare and say that he will not campaign for the ANC. Okay, well, we know that later they bribed him and he came back because they threatened him and he came back to campaign for the ANC. But we knew his position, that he said that the ANC and its president, they were corrupt to the core. Doesn't want anything to do with them. Even though he was campaigning, we're like, oh, you have changed now. How quickly things change, yeah? You have changed now. But we know his position, his original position, that he's against the ANC and its leader. Because he's been saying that throughout. And just to talk about Phumzile Mlambo-Ngcuka. Phumzile Mlambo-Ngcuka, when was the last time we saw her? What is the contribution that she has done so far since she was a deputy president? We have seen nothing. We don't even know where she stays. No, but you're not fair. You need also to acknowledge Jacob Zuma. You may differ with the man, but you will never erase history in any way. That there was once a man called JZ, and this is what he's achieved. That's where we end. Please don't forget, you can subscribe, you can leave your comment. Let's hear your comment on your side. And until we meet on the next video, please leave your comment and you can subscribe to this channel. And I'm out.